Well, folks, sorry we're a little late. We're in a state of confusion, but a nice confusion. We're trying to finish up some budget numbers, and we don't know whether we're gonna do them during the meeting today, or if we can post and continue the meeting until tomorrow morning and finish them up. We're sort of in a quandary. But let's do some of the things we know about. Our town clerk report.
We received some calls yesterday and just wanted to provide a Text My Gov update. Right now it's in trial mode. We're fine-tuning the automatic responses and information on the website, so we'll be ready to go when it goes live. We rolled out the number to a bunch of town employees, so we'll be playing with that over the next few weeks to make sure the responses are exactly the way we want them to be. We do have a call, excuse me, with Text My Gov Thursday afternoon to go over it again. We're finding things, they're fixing them, and we're kind of just going back and forth to make sure this is going to work the way we want it to. But hopefully we're going to finalize this in the next couple weeks, and then you'll see the information rolled out in the shopper's guide, on the website, Facebook, how to sign up for these alerts. So it is coming, we just want to make sure it's right before we roll it out. Just wanted to mention, we had a conversation today during the workshop with Maine PERS, which stands for Public Employee Retirement System. Cornish, the town of Cornish actually got this approved over in their town, and we've been looking at it and talked to Deanna Doyle today from Maine PERS and looked at a few retirement plans, and she was on the conference call. So hopefully if the select board approves it, it will be on the warrant at town meeting. A lot of people don't know, right now Parsonsfield does not offer any sort of retirement, so we don't have any plan like that. So hopefully it will be on the town meeting warrant in the fall, or September rather. Municipal election is set for September 6th. The polls are open from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Absentee ballots are now available. I did post a copy of the sample ballot on Facebook and the website, so you can take a look at that. The ad is also going to be in the shopping guide. So all the information on town meeting and the polls will be in the shopper's guide. Town report. I do have all the photos that I've received on the share drive on our network. If you guys want to go over that at some point and choose a nice photo for the town report cover. So whenever you want to get on one computer, we can go through them all. And
Okay.
whatever looks good to you, we'll start making copies. So. Other than that, that's where we're at.
Okay.
It's been busy.
Thank you, Daniel.
Oh.
Well, folks, we have the same information as the last 2,000 weeks. Reviewing in last week's minutes and approving this week's agenda, and approving the bills from last week and checks emailed out this week.
Have you signed things, Ed?
No, I haven't signed anything.
Okay, so we haven't done that. Should we do that now? It has to be done in the meeting.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to not do it in the meeting. Is that a double negative?
Do you want to take a copy of that?
I do not know.
So this is where we tried to play elevator music a number of years ago, but we got yelled at by somebody.
You could sing to us, Ed, if that. makes you happy.
I don't want to lose the 11 people we have listening or watching. We should have instituted a joke of the week or something.
Oh,
so we-
yeah, we can do that. We've heard a few recently.
Deb? Deb?
Yes.
O'Donnell, their fees going up next year, do we have that in the,
Yes.
okay. In our budget numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Comprehensive plan, public hearing. Nope, that's not right. I hope that's not what they changed in the shop.
No. it's
No,
not.
okay. Yeah, I didn't think
It's
so.
just changing.
Okay, yep. We'll keep an eye on Ed, because
Yeah.
he'll read it.
Mhm.
He'll read it as is.
Yeah.
What I do now?
Nothing yet.
Well, we can flag it in the minutes, because it's in last week's minutes as well, which it needs to be corrected.
Oh, jeez. Yep.
At the bottom is right, at the top's wrong.
Okay.
The agenda there.
On this week's. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. That's correct. Okay.
You say there was something incorrect in last week's minutes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The rescheduling, she's got that under comprehensive plan. That's the cannabis ordinance.
Yeah.
So really, we're talking cannabis ordinance.
Twice.
Oh, gosh, yep, yep,
So just,
yep. It's under the, review of ads also that should say,
Yeah.
yep, got it?
Yeah. All right.
Did we ever hear anything back about the testing? Did we get some more mosquitoes tested for West Nile, or did they
I didn't hear that they,
had sent any reports back, or?
yeah,
I
Okay.
called them and they should have something by the end of the week.
Okay, just curious.
Well, they didn't show up. They were gonna show up in the afternoon,
yeah.
but the guy came before 8 o'clock.
Oh,
in the
is that
rain.
right?
Oh, wow.
So,
Well, perfect for mosquitoes. Yeah. Who's red under the Eco Main? We have Mellon, but then there's,
That's another one of their trucks.
oh, just one of their trucks?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're signing the last of the appointment sheets, hopefully the last of the appointment sheets for this year. That'll basically run through until the end of next fiscal year, which is June 30th. Deb,
yes.
what are these Elijah Fox board members' appointments doing here?
I think I put them in there so you could see them, because look at the date.
I know, 19.
Yeah, so I was just for your information, that's when someone was appointed to that
Oh, okay, good, 'cause I started to sign them, that was a good thing.
You wanna reappoint
Now, I
yourself?
looked at the sign, and it said town meeting of 2020. I said, could be something wrong here.
No. Just hold them up, Ed.
Oh, okay.
Deb, the Shea and Sons, do you know if that's important for the April 4th? This is coming in on the July 23rd.
Look at the slip, it probably has a date on it.
Well, I see the dates.
Oh,
Yeah. Nope, it says South Road, never mind.
okay.
Good enough. I like that they're starting to put their roads on it.
That was the gravel slip,
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
couple dollars.
yeah, but it's really
But
helpful.
it was good, it told you what it was for.
Well, no, that's good when they do that, because I need it for FEMA, what roads they work on.
Mhm.
Yep. You guys signed? I might,
What do we do?
it's just it's kind of interesting, the deputy ACO's timesheet here. It's just a lot of miles and hours.
Just did his payroll, so
You did?
I did.
Mm.
We have the check here in case, if there's a discrepancy, we can.
Yeah, just. Last one, if he went hunting for a dog that belonged to a breeder, you would think that would be their responsibility. I don't
I
know.
think so.
Yeah. So this, the dog that they caught, is that Great Pier that they've been talking about forever? It is? Okay.
The owner gave the dog up, gave it back to
Right.
the breeder.
Right,
Spent a lot of time on it.
yeah, a lot of time. 3.5.
We're just reappointing our comprehensive plan members for this year and also the planning board members. No, not the planning board.
Appeals
sorry.
board, maybe, we don't appoint the planning board.
Yep, yep.
Hopefully the comp plan will be wrapped up soon. Okay, good. And that's good.
Yeah, why don't you give that one back if you're gonna sign it, because Ed didn't initial the second one, I added that.
This one down here?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Thanks, Dave. Check the dates. I thought I did.
Okay.
And then I'll hand this back to you, Ed, just the initial under,
Yeah. I put the comprehensive plan back in, because that still needed to be in there.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you would just initial that part of it.
We're getting there, folks.
I think tonight we can just meet in the planning board room for the public hearing. Really didn't have that many people last night. Yeah, yep.
You want this set up, John?
Sure. Might as well, I think. Yep. We do have that other new computer up there, so
Yeah,
that,
actually, that one's the one that's going in there, so why don't you take that one?
take it into the planning board room, that one. The new one?
No, the old,
Old
the
one
new
is
one's
fine.
for here.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. We just
I
haven't set it
need to
up
get
yet,
my
yeah.
password. The heck is this?
All right. We had, the ads, there's a meeting this evening. No, I'm sorry, wait a minute. Notice of public hearing comprehensive plan, August 14th. That's the cannabis.
Yes.
Comprehensive plans to,
Hmm?
comprehensive.
Comprehensive plan is this
public
evening at
hearings.
Is it?
6 o'clock.
Correct.
Yes.
And the cannabis ordinance, public hearing is August 14th now, at 6 o'clock. The reason for the delay in the cannabis is our second article did not get put into the, our second ad, did not get put into the shopping guide, which was supposed to go in last week. And it was missed.
By the shopping guy. I just want to make that point. We didn't do it.
Well, we did it, and they didn't do it.
Okay, yeah.
Let's make it perfectly clear.
Code enforcement, we have basically a mileage bill.
That's animal control.
What did I say, code enforcement?
Yes.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
I don't know if you didn't sign that on purpose.
No, I think that was just a minor oversight.
Okay.
Thank you. Can't sign your next door neighbor's appointment sheet. It's conflict of interest. As you know, the state police report will be in probably next week. Animal control, Rick really gave us his final mileage report of $156.11. Next planning board meeting is August 17th at 6 o'clock. So just about the third time to make sure we get our meeting straight. Comprehensive plan tonight, 6 o'clock, and the cannabis hearing next week
On the 14th.
on the 14th,
Right.
which is a week from tomorrow. We'll be going over the streetlights. We've agreed to switch over the streetlights now. We're just making sure we have the right streetlights involved. Since we went through the streetlights about 2 years ago and eliminated probably a dozen of them, should be a pretty straightforward list. Saco River is approving Keezer Falls Hydro replace upstream tongue and groove boards and poly sheeting at the upper dam and construct an access road on 24 Federal Road.
Actually, they're approving an extension for it.
Of the road?
They needed more time, so they've approved a
Permit.
first-time extension for the permit.
Person that's concerned about naming the bridge between Parsonsfield and Porter. I'd like to name the bridge Keezer Falls Veterans Memorial Bridge. I don't know if this is a warrant item or whether we'll talk to the person. Anyone know?
Yep, it's going to be a warrant article at the annual town meeting.
Okay.
Yep, she's come around and asked us about renaming the the Keezer Falls Bridge.
Yep.
So it's a joint effort between Porter and Parsonsfield, and people will have the choice to agree to it or not.
And we have the road commissioner. Met with Selectboard, Jen Lewis, EMA officer, to review our April FEMA storm repairs and costs.
Ongoing.
Any hope?
Yeah, we've gotten through a lot of information today on road damage, culvert replacement, that kind of thing, so
Okay.
we'll be meeting weekly, I think, until it's pretty much wrapped up.
That it for your little updates?
Say it again?
Is that it for your updates?
Updates on
Whatever,
everything. I've got,
whatever you'd prefer to share with us.
all right,
Get your list out, Jen.
got my list. I got my list in front of me. We'll be looking at another MMA grant coming up in September. So this is a risk reduction grant, so something for everybody to think about what we would like to see, whether it's security cameras in the office, that we have a good method of checking rather than going into the closet, handrails coming into the town hall, but something so that I can start writing the grant, whatever risk reduction project you can think of. Last week we talked about putting an AC unit in the code enforcement office, and Eric has, our deputy CEO, said that he can make some kind of a insert for the casement window so that we could put a portable floor monitor in, which might be a good thing, as long as it has enough BTUs to cool off the room. So something to look at and think about, rather than buying, rather than getting into putting in a wall unit.
Pretty good sized room though.
It is, but they make some pretty heavy-duty BTU-sized floor models. I did hear back from Kaz's Fine Lines, and that's the company that offered to stripe the crosswalk. So there was another one of those, I'll call you at the end of the week, but she did say she would get back to me. She's waiting to hear, she's going to talk to the hardware store for the parking lot and to the post office owner about restriping them along with our parking places at the post office and adding more. So She said they could probably do it as early as the end of next week if she gets back to the other two people.
And the price was around 3?
No, she didn't get, the price for just doing the crosswalk was gonna be like $900, but,
Okay.
yeah, which was $1,000 less than another company that I called, so. I don't have a price for the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
And next week, the 2 women from Southern Maine Planning and Development want to come in and just workshop with us for an hour or so on the Resilience Partnership and the project that I'm working on to get a grant. So that would be next Tuesday. If that works, I will let them know that that's okay.
Okay, do you really think it'll take an hour?
Yep,
Okay,
that's what they said. That's what they said. I'll recheck with them, but because I asked them the same question, how long do you think?
yeah,
So,
okay.
right? Yeah, I think that's all I have to say.
David?
Okay, I'm gonna recommend that we go with Consolidated for our fiber connection. Their price with 6 phones, their recurring price with 6 phones is $249 a month and about $295 initial price. Spectrum is about $460, and that doesn't include the price of phones. The only issue is that they want a 3-year contract. So I asked her, and I only noticed that today, and I apologize, I should have noticed it, but we're in a multi-year contract issue again. So I asked her if she would honor the price through the week after our town meeting. And I haven't heard, let's see, I don't think I've heard on that. No, I haven't. So I'm gonna have to hold off on, or we're gonna have to hold off on making a decision on that.
Now, 6 phones, is that enough? Or-
No, it isn't. I told her we'd need probably 9, I think.
Okay, and that includes the phones?
Yes, yeah, yeah. And the phones would be leased, rented. So it's their responsibility if anything breaks. I mean, it's like the old phone company setup,
Yeah.
if you will. But they're responsible and they take care of software upgrades to the phones and things like that. And there are both desk models and handheld models, portable models. So we need to decide what we want.
And the lease is for how long?
Lease runs with the contract. It's really a rental, so
Okay.
it just runs with the contract. For your office, Danielle, I guess you're gonna have to decide, you know, you may want, and I'm just thinking about this, but you may want something to cover the 4558 and 4559, which can be one phone, and then each of you might want a separate phone that's yours.
So it's not gonna, is the system gonna be different from what we have now
Oh,
as
yeah.
far as, well, is it gonna, how, like, how's this gonna work?
Well,
How is it different from what we have now?
Well, first of all, it has voicemail. And that's the reason that you may want your own phone as opposed to just the 4558, 4559 phone. Yeah, let's see, what else?
Press 1 for town clerk, press 2 for select board?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight that one.
Why?
You like it,
Why?
right?
I like it because we're the one answering
Yeah.
the phone,
I,
and I don't, for everybody.
Yeah.
So I really would appreciate that because you can get to us
listen,
and not,
Yeah,
if
the,
there's
I was
general,
convinced 4 years ago,
if
so.
there's general assistance, it goes straight to Deb.
Yep.
If it's code, it goes straight to them.
And if it's this office that comes in here,
I
I why?
really would appreciate that.
Yeah.
But that,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
I just think
Okay.
it's more professional.
that capability will be there certainly. And we would have that enabled at least overnight, if not all the time. Overnight, then you can get right to somebody's extension's voicemail. So if somebody wants to leave a message for you, they call you or they push your number and they get your voicemail. So it has that.
Yes.
I mean, other than that, in terms of functionality, it has all kinds of things, but in terms of use, it'll be pretty much the
Very
same.
nice surprise, I had no idea. So
What?
How does this work as far as like, right now it's line 1 and line 2, they both ring together with different ringtones. How is this, I mean,
Those two would ring, we can set up wherever we want them to ring, okay? Or not ring and just go to the voice assistant or whatever they call it, which puts you into the menu for different things.
Wow.
Now, the only problem is that we're gonna have an entry for every phone that we have. So that voice assistant's gotta go through town clerk, deputy clerk, Renee, Danielle, select board assistant, Debbie, David, Ed, Jen, Eric, Jesse.
why wouldn't it be per room rather than per phone?
Right, why can't it be limited to just select board?
Yeah,
You won't get your own voicemail,
So, we don't get it now.
but we.
it could be one voicemail.
And the message, you would get the message, if someone answers the phone, you would get directed, question answered or whatever. Or if there's no one there, it would say, just please leave a message for the select board.
Right, same for town clerk.
Right, and the town clerk, and
Mm-hmm.
the appropriate person would handle it.
So just have on the selection, just have the
The office.
Yep,
town clerk, CEO, select board.
right.
Can
Right.
set that up that way, yep.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Press 1 for the
Yep.
select, or press 2 for the select board office, and press 3 for the CEO office.
Yep.
And we could leave a generalized voicemail, please, if we're not here, leave a message for the
They're so
selectmen.
busy in there, and just for instance, they're taking one of our phones in there, and we
Mhm.
gotta find out what handheld it is, and just, are you with somebody? No? Okay,
Yeah.
it's just,
Right.
it would be much more professional if we had per room.
I'm not sure I agree with more professional, but I understand you're not wanting to answer the phone for everybody.
I have no problem answering the phone.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's a question.
That is not the issue
It's
whatsoever.
right.
It's a matter of getting the appropriate department when you call into the office.
Yes.
I guess.
And it's
It-
time-consuming.
It loses the
Yes.
small office feel to me. And, maybe I'm in the 1900s, 1990s. But, yeah, I'm not worried about that. It'll be there, the capability will be there.
Are we gonna have a training? Like, do they come in and
Yes.
say, okay, how do you want this to work?
There's a webinar that everybody who is getting a phone is supposed to go through. Yep. Yep.
The reliability on these is about the same.
On the internet connection,
On the fiber versus the,
Oh, it's
Cable.
better.
fiber is much better.
Okay.
However, you gotta understand, if a tree went down on the lines,
no, everything's dead. I mean, you're
Yeah.
dead anyway.
well, yeah, but if CMP gets power back on, we won't necessarily have internet. They gotta
Okay.
get their own lines back up, yeah. Yeah, now that is the one thing about the Spectrum setup, and that is that they guarantee 100% uptime. Now,
Hmm.
what that means is that if you have an outage and they know about it, then they start the clock. If they don't know about it, then we have to let them know, and they start the clock. And for each, after 16 hours, we don't pay. The reimbursement covers a month's fee, okay? And it's incremental each hour,
So
okay?
if it was out for 8 hours, we'd get a credit for half a month.
Half a
basically.
month,
Okay.
exactly, yeah. Personally, I think that the additional cost for Spectrum would be too much to, we wouldn't make up that amount in outage reimbursements.
Well, we don't go out that much as it is now, right? I mean, we're
No,
a big storm or something.
yeah,
you know,
and
it's-
after 16 hours, you don't get any more. I mean, they're not gonna start paying you, yeah, so. But like I said, I have not heard back from Consolidated, so.
Do you have any workshop time to kind of go through like what phones are available and what makes sense for, before they re-roll this out, or?
The phone decisions can be made right
There's
when they're
people here
doing the
that have resigned
implementation. Yeah,
from this
yeah.
stuff.
But I said I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I did pull it.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. We're still on me, aren't we? I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Did you mention the numbers from the warrant this week? I don't think you did. What our warrant totals are?
No.
Okay. Just so you know, folks, our non-payroll expenses that we're paying this month are $223,128. And our payroll expenses are, well, I guess you look at gross, $16,429. So it's a big payroll week, or a big warrant week,
Mainly because
mainly
The
because
school
of the school,
it's
yeah.
176,000 or
Exactly,
something or other.
yes, exactly.
And trash is 20, so
Yep.
doesn't leave much else.
No? I guess that's it.
All
Thank
right,
you.
a couple things. The saga of the fences continues. Gorham Fence person who was handling our request was out for a week and didn't communicate with anybody. So I am meeting a representative next week down at the salt shed, just to go over what the options are. And as Jeff brought up a little bit last week, enclosing the whole facility to secure, the sand and the salt, or maybe just putting a fence across the building, which would secure the salt, but the sand that's outside, people could whatever. So, and how much a fence would cost. So those are the things we're looking at. The other thing we want to talk about is we're just about done with our review of the budget and next year's budget. The budget committee must have a meeting coming up pretty soon?
Monday.
Monday.
Okay.
6 o'clock?
And I think the only thing we really haven't had a chance to discuss yet is the roads. Do we want to do that now? Or can we continue, and we had done this before, now I'm not sure whether it was, someone said it was legal, so, to continue the meeting until tomorrow, in which case we would take up the roads, get the budget, from our standpoint, semi-finalized, and then close the meeting.
Yeah, I think the way it is that you can continue the meeting to a time certain, meaning you specify a time and date when it's gonna happen. We can't just leave the meeting open saying we're gonna meet down the road sometime.
Oh.
So if we continue it to a known time tomorrow morning, so that the public can be here if they want.
Now, can they listen? Can we put the,
Yeah, we can put it back up.
Yeah.
Sure,
Sure.
yeah.
all right, so what do you folks feel about, how do you want to do that? 'Cause I have no,
You want to be here at 8 a.m., Ed?
well, I thought we'd give, my reputation for being comfortable in the morning precedes me.
Precedes you.
We wanted to give Debbie some time to update some numbers.
Yes.
So I would think maybe, if we're going to do it tomorrow, we continue the meeting till 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Mhm.
Yep, we have a trio meeting at 10:30, so.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're not going to
Yep.
meet that much on
Okay.
the roads. So everyone comfortable with
9
Roads and-
o'clock.
Roads
9
and
o'clock
salaries,
tomorrow
yeah.
morning?
Yep.
Okay. So folks, in that case, to hear the exciting end of this meeting, which will be discussing roads and how to pay for them and what we should do, tune in tomorrow at 9 o'clock with your coffee and a donut, and we'll shock you with road numbers. So with that, we will not close the meeting, but continue it until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And thank you very much for listening in, and we'll hopefully see some of you tomorrow.
All right.
I won't even close the meeting.
Oh, okay.
obviously.
No gavel.